The other piece I want to talk about is Falling Steeple. Falling Steeple. All right, make the comparison between the eyes in Dark Bone piece, the tree, if you will, that has the thorns on it, and the steeple. Both things have points at the top, and those points are insinuating a certain aspiration. You're aspiring to. That's what steeples were. Steeples were pointy things put on top of buildings that had some kind of significance in the community to show aspiration to a higher entity, power, being. But it was at least a positive thing where you were reaching for or aspiring to something. I think that in the religious sense of our today religion in America, that there's something that's happened. I think the steeple is quite literally falling. I think it's in a state of descending. It's a descending steeple, a falling steeple, a leaning steeple. That's a negative comment. With the double cross on top, that's another negative comment, if you will, because the idea that the cross singularly on the steeple had a very core representation, whether one believed it or not is beside the point. The fact is that it was there, it was real, it was presented, it was believed, and believed by a vast number of people. And I think that in some period of now, some period in my lifetime, in the last 10, 20, 30, 40 years, I think that that as a belief system's gotten out of whack. That's a pretty scratching thing to say, particularly for someone who came from that Baptist religious history, which I did. And all of the things that it seemed to me like that were positive in terms of the belief have really gone awry. I don't understand where that group as a group is. Now, I will also say it's never fair to lump in total a group. There are segments that's this, there's segments that's that, and there's segments that's here. There is a segment that has fallen, and I think, to tell you the truth, I think they've double-crossed us. And that's what this piece is about. It's a pretty direct punch in the nose, to tell you the truth. But I think it's a powerful piece, and I'm very proud of it. I'm glad I made it. I also have made a piece that's called Double Cross. That's the name of the piece, and that's more of a house. You could call it a church simply because the crosses are on it, but there's no steeple with it. There's just a house with two crosses in it, and it's titled Double Cross. Double Cross is a pretty much of a punch too. To me, it's a challenge to a certain segment of the Christian religion to stand up and explain where they are, what they're doing, why are they doing what they are doing, what do they represent now? What are they putting forward that has to do with what they have stated they believed in for years and years and years? I think that what they're actually doing and what they said they believed in are two different things. And I think it's time to ask them those questions. And that piece is about that. It's called double cross, and I feel like I feel like we as a group of believers have been double crossed. So there is a connection between the steeple, the fallen steeple, and the house piece called double cross. It's all within the same gene pool of sources.